In this video, I'm going to show you how to get Geralt Ciri's sword Zireael. It's a pretty cool sword with plus 800 armor piercing and other bonuses. You can only get it by having Ciri interact with the stash in the Rosemary and Thyme during the Breakneck Speed quest in Novigrad. And you want her to drop it, you don't want her to stash it here in Novigrad. Now, it's a long ways to the Rosemary and Thyme. She's got to run away, and then she has to run back up Temple Isle so she can get to her cutscene to complete the quest. That she has to be almost captured by the temple guards at the Temple of the Eternal Flame, and then she's going to travel to Skellige right after that. And you'll next see her in Skellige, and then you want to wait to pick it up. So it's going to be dropped in the Rosemary and Thyme, and Geralt's not going to pick it up until after she completes Calm Before the Storm with Skull in Skellige. So this is, of course, a quest you want to save a lot in. It's first going to start out at the bridge to Temple Isle, and when you get there, you're going to want to fight most of the guys on that little bit. So the bit between where you get the horse, so you open up the door and you get the horse, and where there's a gate that's locked to go back to the rest of. So there's where the gate with the horses and the guards. You have to, unfortunately, kill the guards and kill the Whoreson's men. Now, if you jump on the horse after killing these guards just in this area, you don't want to go downstairs because you'll get more guards. But if you jump on the horse, then you can conceivably jump on the horse, run into the gate that's closed and locked, and dismount and then remount. I'm not going to show you that method, but that's a good method to use. We're going to show you the method where Ciri jumps under the gate. She can also do that. We're not going to do it this time, but she can jump under that gate. Here, we'll show you the gate. Or she can dismount the horse under that gate. But what we're going to show you is how to jump onto the house next door here. Now, she's only able to jump when she is not in combat, right? Otherwise, she'll blink, right? So that's why you have to kill those few guys. But you don't want to go down these steps here. You want to jump here. Obviously, save before you do, because you might fall to your death. Ciri will, at least. And then you're going to do a series of jumps. So I found it easiest to get to the side. Yeah, get to the right side here. Keep on going, Ciri. Keep on going. Get to the right side, and then by this window, and she can actually jump on that window and then climb up to that ledge. Come on, you can do it. So we can get this sword. All right, and then she jumps here. This should be an easier jump, but I think she's getting shot at right here, and that's why she's having trouble jumping. Otherwise, it would be pretty darn easy. But eventually, she's able to do it, and then you get to the top of this roof here. And I was thinking we'd have to go through several roofs, but once we get up above here, you saw the arrow fly past her. You can do it, Ciri. You can do it. It's not that high. There we go. And then you want to get up and over the roof here. So she's climbing up. It's pretty steep. She's tried this one. That was too steep, but now she's on the other side of the roof, and that's all we need. And she can jump down from here, and then there's a little ledge she can jump on, and then she can jump down with no damage. But obviously you want to save before you do that if you miss that little ledge, because you didn't really see it there, but there was a little ledge she jumped on to break her fall. And then now she's just running through the streets of Novigrad, and really she has no resistance now. Nobody's going to bother her. I mean, I guess she could run into some bandits or something, but she could run past them too. The Whoreson's men are on the other side of the gate, so she's pretty much safe and sound here. She could blink around, but she doesn't need to. I don't think she will blink because she's not in trouble. She would only jump. So here it is on the map. Obviously the stash, that's where we're headed. We're headed to the stash. Yeah, I think that's the key thing, is that you never can access Ciri's inventory panel, right? Unless the only way you can access her inventory panel is if you're interacting with the stash, which is just kind of a glitch, because, they don't want you to use her inventory panel at all. But when you get to the stash, don't stash it, but drop it, because Geralt can't access Ciri's stash. But if she drops it on the ground, then he can pick up what she dropped. So, key thing is drop it, don't stash it. And now she's got to run back. It was kind of weird that Ciri's sword had different stats than it did for Geralt. I had a level 81 Geralt when he picked it up. It was a level 70 sword with 223 to 273 plus 250 physical damage plus 800 armor piercing, 25% bonus versus cursed ones, level 70 for Geralt. When Ciri was dropping it, though, it was level 39, 315 to 385 plus 800 armor piercing. So I don't know why it has kind of different stats for Ciri than it did for Geralt, but I guess I'll take it because I do like that plus 250 physical damage. I guess if you have heavily armored enemies, maybe it is the best sword in the game. I haven't tested it. I've used it some. It seemed okay. But then when I got to higher levels, I started using some of the other Witcher School swords. But maybe I'll test it out to see how it does versus Witcher School swords towards the end of the game. Now, you could get on a horse here. I didn't. I just kind of blinked my way up. Obviously, you don't want to blink off a cliff here, but if you aim her straight, then you can do a lot of blinking, but she can't. She's got to, if there's a barricade, she's got to run around the barricade. She obviously can't fight these guys because she can only punch them, and you want to avoid a fight. So if you go all the way up to the door to Temple Isle, you do have to fight the guys to open up the door and kill them all. But if you do what we do here, we see this low point in the wall right before we get around the corner to the door. If we go to the door, then we'll get a bunch of guys that start attacking us. We don't want to do that. You have to get her so she's out of combat here, and then she can jump on the roof. She just fell through the roof here, but you could also run down the roof and then jump onto the stairs. That's also a possibility if you're not as lucky as I was to fall through the roof. And then we're right into the cutscene, and so we'll show you the cutscene, and it shows her fighting. It seems like she's got her sword back, even though she doesn't have her sword. Yeah, you see Zireael on her back, but she didn't have it. She didn't have it. It was just for the cutscene. And once you're in the cutscene, you're done. And then the key thing is just patience, really, to not pick it up. Now, I've not tested it, that if Geralt can pick it up earlier, but I have been told that he cannot, and it'll just destroy your game. And I wasn't willing to play 10 quests to see if it would destroy your game, so you can try it out and pick it up and then play 10 quests, and then if you have to go back to your earlier save, then go ahead. Because the next time you see Ciri, the next time you play Ciri is in Skull's town in Lofoten, and she just falls out of the sky, and she's pretty injured, and Skull helps her out, and she meets Skull's family, and they take her to the sauna, and she undresses for the sauna, she goes to the sauna, and then she redresses. She dresses back again, and when she dresses back again, she'll have the sword, and she'll be able to fight the Wild Hunt. And she does need to kill some Wild Hunt guys in this next quest, so if you don't have a sword, you're kind of in trouble. But she does have it if you don't pick it up, for sure. And so she got her sword back, and now she's going to go out and fight the Wild Hunt, and then they're going to ride some horses, and she's going to run away with on the boat, I think, when they get to those shoreline. But first, she got Zireael back. Geralt picks up Zireael at level 81. For me, which is like the equivalent of level 20, because I started NG Plus at level 61. So that makes the sword kind of the equivalent of level 9. So I don't know what the math is going on there for Geralt. But I enchanted it. It only has 2 rune slots. You can pay for a second rune slot. I like to do preservation for my swords, steel swords, and severance for my silver sword. And so this is Zireael is a steel sword because Ciri is not yet a full Witcher, and she doesn't get her steel sword unless you have the happy ending. Spoiler alert! And she becomes a Witcher. So, and there's also a sword that you get, and you can check out that sword at the end of the game and see if you like Ciri's silver sword, which Geralt gives it to her as a gift. But Geralt's, he's playing with the Zireael right now. I played several levels with Zireael as my steel sword. I've switched back to one of the Witcher school swords, which are kind of higher level. But I think Zireael is a good sword. It's worthwhile, and I think it's worth testing it. And if you have heavily armored enemies, then maybe Zireael is the way to go, even if you have a level 100 Witcher sword, which is one of the reasons why I ground to level 61 to start NG+. So it'd be interesting to see. You should check out my video about the top 5 swords in the game, which are all swords you get in Blood and Wine, because those are going to be the highest level swords. And that way you can see if the Zireael that you pick up here in, I guess, Breakneck Speed, let's see, is a level 11 quest. So maybe when you pick it up, it's 2 levels below the level of the quest. And then you can pick it up actually at Calm Before the Storm. Subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. I'm Linus Wilson. Bye-bye.